Episode commencing in 3, 2, 1. Episode initiated.
In the far-flung future of our recent past, in the year 3203, the crew travel the galaxy, righting wrongs and battling 1950s representations of space communists. This is the serialized adventures of the Cosmic Sky Flash, aka the Adventures of Crit Gordon. This is your GM Patrick here, your Gordon mongering enthusiast game master, and allow me to welcome you to the world of black and white television, science fiction, and joining me in the weekly tales to astonish and electrify you are my 5 friends in your weekly rocketing adventurers. To my far left, a member of the GBI, the Galactic Bureau of Investigation. We're gabbering away today with Jabert.
Hey, welcome, Patrick, to Season 5. I am the new host of Season 5.
No, I'm welcoming you.
What character are you playing, Patrick?
Oh, gosh, I'm so not ready. Across the digital table from me, have Spaceship, will travel with style. Let's all make believe with Miles.
Good evening.
That sounded like a question. Let's all make believe with Miles? Let's all make believe with Miles. To my right, ready to science up the spot like Dr. Zarkov, why I'm talking, of course, about Tyler. Tyler?
I'm in the 3rd spot this season, ever closer to the final, the last spot that I coveted for Season 1.
To my immediate left are Dale Ardentype and the inspiration for Princess Leia. We're all dying to dive in with Drew.
Defenders of the universe.
Okay, Drew, and across from him, an evil warlord trying to take over the universe. Why, it's time to roll with Rebecca.
That's me.
Oh, in the 5 slot. It only took 5 seasons, Rebecca, to get you there, right?
Unlike some other people, I have not been excited about being last. I feel like I'm letting everyone down with my uninteresting quips. Or lack thereof.
Oh, trust me, I've been first and last. I just say good evening. All reliable.
Good evening. Guys, welcome to episode 1 of season 5 of Cosmic Crits. How are you doing?
Doing well. I'm excited
nervous.
to see these crazy characters in action.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the first total attack roll that is single digits.
Yeah, I'm super excited from going from 20 to 1.
This is the biggest turnaround, obviously, we've ever done, for sure. But
I really just want to start like at level 3 or 4 from here on out whenever we start new characters.
Oh boy, that would be
so much.
You know what?
That'd be nice.
What? Why would we do that? We could do that, right? Let's just skip the first book. There's nothing important happening.
I'm not saying skip the first book. I'm just saying skip levels.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
you just want me to.
We want to be level 3 at the start, and we need you to readjust the whole
Everything.
campaign.
Yeah,
because
or, or
exactly.
To be fair, don't readjust it. We'll just
stop book 1.
I mean, Patrick did readjust the last campaign quite a bit.
If anything, you guys would be level 0 when we start because you're too powerful at all times. You're 1 level too powerful. So you know what? Yeah, just erase all your class features.
We're
You're
NPCs.
level 1 NPC.
No!
You have +1 to hit and +1 to 3 skills and whatever else.
Oh
they have.
no! Patrick just sent me an NPC sheet for Sweeper Bot. I'm a Sweeper Bot. No.
Superbot's great.
I'm a level 0 farmer in this season. I hope I become a class at some point.
I'm supposed to farm moisture on a planet that has 2 suns. Dang it!
This is awkward. This is, I mean, I feel like we've done something new every season and that I've tried to trip you guys up. But this season is probably the weirdest. This week's episode is the first true episode of the series after our intro episode 0 live stream that we had during CritterCon 6, which you may or may not have listened to. We're going to treat this episode kind of like the first episode in case you hadn't listened to that. But we are playing this before that live stream happens. We're playing this about a month early, which means this episode is the first time you guys are actually ever playing these characters. And the first time you're showing them off to one another, and the first time we're going to be introducing them to the audience, even though it's already happened in the podcast feed. I explained this in text a couple months ago when I realized CritterCon Season 5 are going to line up together. CritterCon, our online charity convention, of course. But
I didn't listen then and completely forgot. So now I'm like, all my plans are.
Well, that is why I didn't introduce you guys as characters at the start of this episode, and also why we're not going to have a last time on segment, because we don't know what happened really last week. If I told you, it would be spoiling it, which is a little confusing. But last week, we met your character for the first time, technically.
I feel like I'm living a Doctor Who episode or something.
It's a time travel episode, yeah. Well, so technically, episode 0 is going to be a regular episode for everyone at home listening, and it's going to be a flashback for you guys, because you'll already have played these characters.
Flashback Gordon.
Does that make sense?
Nope.
Oh, goodness gracious. Right. So yeah, this is kind of like a second introduction if you were to listen to episode 0. But yeah, I can tell you at this point, your characters have met one another, but you guys haven't met each other's characters. So yeah, we're a little time travel-y. So bear with us, audience members, and thank you for showing up again. If you liked episode 0 and like these characters, hopefully you like them more now.
Welcome back.
The first awkward time these guys get to play them. So before we get started, let's talk a little bit about the campaign. This season on Cosmic Crit, we are playing the Space Kingmaker style adventure path called Horizons of the Vast. And this is we're starting with the first book, which is a great place to start. It'd be so weird if we started with book 5. Book number 1 in the 6 arc adventure path is called Planetfall by none other than the man, the myth, the Lundeen legend himself, Ron Lundeen. And Jabert, I was just looking through it. I think between you and I, this is like the 6th EP volume by Ron that we've done together, between Pathfinder and Starfinder over the years. We've done a lot of Ronning it up.
Oh yeah. Ron is featured heavily in my my nightmares. So
welcome
back to my life, Ron.
You got a burn book full of Ron.
Right, exactly.
How dare he? He's a writer that doesn't really pull a lot of punches.
Prolific.
Very prolific, yeah. Like I said, both Pathfinder and Starfinder over the years. I think he did not write any Skull and Shackles. I think that's the only time you're getting away from our Skull and Shackles podcast. Right, and this season you guys are all playing 5 brand new characters. This is not really spoiling anything because everyone out there has already met these characters in episode 0. But yeah, they have never shown up in our ongoing meta narrative before. And yeah, so we're starting like completely fresh, brand new slate. Unless one of you is secretly actually like the son of Anda's 147 and you just didn't tell me about it. So like I guess I don't have control over that if you're keeping secrets from me, but from what I understand, nobody is connected to any of the other characters in previous seasons.
I tried to be Geverlar Sknor Senior again, but
such a callback.
Didn't end up swinging that way.
2018 callback. But yeah, we're going to a place untouched by this campaign. We're going to a place that didn't exist before this AP was written, a brand new planet in the vast. And if you hadn't heard of Kingmaker before, it was a Pathfinder adventure path where players basically made their own city-state, their own kingdom, and literally played Kingmaker. They decided the fate of citizens, they built cities, annexed territories, fought wars between, giant armies. And Horizons of the Vast is similar. In space, Space Kingmaker, and you guys are all playing colonists, touching down on this far off planet, almost as far away from Absalom Station as you can get in this universe. Guys, over the course of this season, just to set expectations, I've prefaced this a couple times with folks in the Discord online here. This is going to be our longest season yet, our biggest season yet. Season 1 was 73 episodes. Season 3 was 83 episodes. Those are our other 2-volume arcs. And I expect this one to be longer. So this is probably going to last us through 2025. Into the year 2025.
So I hope you like these characters.
Yeah, I was about to say, or just throw them into danger real.
Yeah, I was going to say, we can always kill someone off. It's fine.
If someone throws a grenade, you're like, everyone's scrambling to jump on it. No, I got this.
I'll save you all.
I'll take this one for the team.
That's the least popular one on the podcast.
The grenade did 1d4 damage.
That's not the mortal wound.
We should
Just
do
like a little burp comes out from underneath
a
you.
monthly fan challenge and call it just like the Steve Rogers vote, where one of the fans can vote on which character gets to jump on a grenade.
And you have to do it. You have to try to.
And you have to do it. You have to do it.
Right. So that's my introductory spiel out of the way. Are you guys ready to? Are you excited? I should say, to jump in feet first and get our shoes soaked, get all wet.
You assume we have
from
feet.
The ankle down. Yeah. Oh goodness, I'm so sorry.
It's not a deep pool. It's only about yay deep.
But it's just episode 1 right
level
now.
1, so it's
level 1, episode 1.
It's a splash pad, is what it is.
Hey, Patrick, do any of your enemies have doshkos? I just want to know if I'm going to die immediately.
I'm not revealing anything, Tyler. Okay, well, let's get into it. This is, like I said, Book 1, Planetfall. This episode begins in the unending, unearthly wilds of the Drift. It's an eclectic miasma of purple and green clouds and heavenly bodies of background energy in a plane of indeterministic time and distance. And for the last few hundred years or so, it has been the bedrock of intergalactic travel in the Starfinder universe. It has allowed trips that would take several light years to be traversed in a matter of days. We see here a massive, boxy starship flying through this eerily empty void. It's about 150-foot wide cube. It looks almost like it's standing still as lazy space clouds kind of inch by comparison in the background. This ship is a Competent Star Settler starship, and it's designated as the Burnished Dawn. You see a symbol of Tyrell Holdings on the outside, alongside a badge that reads Project Horizons near the vessel's name, laser etched into its side. As we pan through the ship, we see multiple bulkhead-lined bays, cargo holds, large living quarters, and dozens of settlers. We watch as a noir couple bicker while playing a card game. There's scientists in the holds running experiments on planter crates of live specimens. And there are classes in survival being taught by a red-skinned Akatonian. And here on the bridge, there's a cadre of characters that come forth to start their shift as the ship's crew. They are your party of adventurers, the 5 of you. And at this point in your journey, you all have been stuck inside this tin can together for about a month. Maybe you spent the last 400 hours or so of work time on the ship in one another's company or in close quarters of some sort. Let's go around the room and introduce yourself to one another and maybe talk about your PCs a little bit and then maybe how they've gotten on one another's nerves over the last month. You don't have to explain every little bit and bob about your character. Like, we don't need to know your feats or even your class if you don't want to, but just a description and what you're willing to say we see.
I'll start.
Oh, Jabert.
All right. So you hear before you see a loud clanking coming down the hallway, down the berth the berth, and stepping through is a diminutive, short, 4 feet 11 inches of pure metal, and it is indeed appears to be some sort of a knight in shining armor, who lifts up their visor to reveal a wee otter coming through and saying, "Hey, am I the first one on board the bridge? Is this the bridge? What is this? Where am I?"
Yeah, you're coming for shift number 33 so far in this journey.
Oh boy,
of 12-hour shifts.
Yeah. So indeed, I take my seat, and this is wee Jamfram, calls himself Jamfram the Mighty, and
his name is not Wee Jamfram, but it's a little guy named Jamfram.
Right.
Okay, good.
Yeah, little guy named Jamfram. I mean, we might be like the like sir, for the Bernari.
Oh.
Yeah, Wee Jamfram. And so,
or that's just how he introduces himself. Wee Jamfram.
That's right.
The royal Wee.
Yeah, Jamfram likely bothers his crewmates because he is incessantly obsessing over small baubles and trying to crack them open on his tummy, and that's
like a nonstop. That's almost as worse as like pistachio shells,
Right, exactly. Yeah, and I leave little sea urchin pieces everywhere in the
One of the cargo holds is just a massive tank of. That's the only thing you brought with you is sea urchin.
Right, exactly. Well, it's like Big Brother where you can get like a supply of like one thing,
Oh, but you have to complete a challenge first. You have to balance something on your head for like an hour. Okay, well,
and I sit awkwardly with my sort of poking into the chair, and but eventually I am able to finagle my way around. Yeah. It's impractical, but it keeps me safe.
This is very confusing. You've described a knight with armor and a sword. Jabert, this is our Starfinder campaign. You understand it's not Pathfinder.
Here's the thing though, Patrick. I really liked Kingmaker.
Oh, okay.
I'm just playing Kingmaker.
We're going back to Kingmaker, baby. Oh, who wants to introduce one another next to one another? Made sense, right? Who here wants to step up next?
I mean, I can go.
Gosh, I knew it was gonna be you because you can't suffer an uncomfortable silence.
I know.
You're like, oh gosh, it's gonna be me, isn't it? Go right ahead.
I'm gonna volunteer. Okay, so behind Jamfram, this tiny little guy, comes a 7 foot tall, very lean, very slender, completely hairless alien.
Tall.
Yes, very tall, especially in comparison to the little otter. Yeah, they come in the door and they whisper quietly, sort of to themselves, "Calm down. We are not late. We're fine." And they're going to come in, and I have no idea what this person does on this ship. No clue how they might be a part of a crew.
It's been very quiet going the last, month or whatever you've been on the ship. So you guys can cycle between one another, the crew duties. So take whatever chair you want right now. You can sit in the captain's chair, Rebecca. I don't care.
If it's an option, I don't know what's in this room, but
this is the deck of the ship. So every monitoring station for every chair in the starship is
okay. Well, they have a particular affinity for plants and spend a lot of time in the aquaponics, part of the ship.
Oh, down with the nerds, huh?
Yeah, gazing at the stars through the giant windows in there and tending to the plant life and, the growing the gardens and things like that. They really enjoy what plants they grow, and things die and then things grow out of that death, and it really speaks to this person on a visceral level, I suppose. And yeah, so if there's like a monitoring station that I can look at my plants and make sure the plants are okay, that'd be good.
Yeah. Science station. You can check in with some of the experiments going on the ship.
One may notice, as I mentioned, when they came in the door, they were, quietly calming themselves down. They may notice, others who are watching them may notice that they're covered with an organic-looking tattoo all along their skin surfaces, and that tattoo slowly fades from yellow to a more coral color as they kind of gain their composure, I suppose, and realize that they are on time for their shift start. So
mood ring tattoo. That's pretty cool.
Yes.
What's your character's name?
Their name is Asher, and their parasitic companion, if you will, that is forming those said tattoos is named Sky.
Oh, okay. So we got a couple characters here. That's pretty cool. Excellent. So you take a seat maybe over at the science chair. I don't have these mapped out. I'm just going to put you across from our friend Jam. From who wants to introduce their character next? We got 3 more to get through, believe it or not.
Oh, pardon me, old sport. Pardon me, old bean. Just sorry I'm late.
Drew, who are we looking at?
Oh, it's old Zilix, Zilix Thel of the Sky City's helm. Just don't mind me. I'll be over here.
What are we looking? Or what is it that we're looking at? What do they look like?
This is a 6 to 8 foot tall lizard man.
Oh my God! So many tall people. So sorry, Jabert. They didn't check in with you.
Well, someone's got to keep their ear to the ground.
Sorry, Drew. Go right ahead.
He's an Extangi lizard person.
Yeah, you could have just made that up right now, and I'd still probably believe you, because I don't think I'd really heard of Extangi before we started this season.
That's the thing. They've released a bunch of alien archives by this point. There's so many playable aliens of different things. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't... Do you happen to recall where the Extangi are from?
I think Alien Archive 4 is where they come from.
So pretty new, and that was year before last. Awesome. What else do they're a giant... How would you describe them?
He's a giant rich space lizard who's just going to go and try to stay out of the way and maybe not cause too much trouble.
Okay. All right. And anything else about their looks, their demeanor, perhaps, or is that what we're going with? Start. That's fine as well.
He is going to pick the easiest spot on the ship, the spot that he has the least amount to do at any given time. Probably science office.
Of course, we're gonna have art and stuff up on our website, but they're not Vesk kind of lizards. They have some interesting features, and the fact that they're so tall is honestly kind of intimidating. Thinking about them, the art doesn't make me think that they'd be that tall, but they are pretty lanky looking for the most part.
Yeah, and he's got kind of a little tail. He's like a space chameleon, if you want to think about it in that way.
Yeah, that's probably the closest. They have, I forget what they call it when the eyes are kind of offset on the side, but I think that's pretty standard for Extangi. Looking multiple different directions. All right, that's Drew. Zilix, you said?
Zilix Thel, the Sky City Thel. What? We've been all over that.
I guess for people that maybe didn't listen to episode 0. Who wants to introduce next? We got Tyler. We got Miles.
I can go. In walks a not as tall as all these tall folk. Let's go a regular old 6'3" individual.
Oh yeah, just regular 6'3".
Regular 6'3".
Tyler, you just made yourself this season, didn't you?
And
Tyler, how tall does it say you are on your license? Tell me right now.
Oh, 5'11".
Oh, that's lies.
So, and he is walking slowly, and his head is down, looking at a physical book, not a data pad, but a tome. That's actually pressed on
made of dead leaves. Oh, gross!
Made of dead leaves and stuff. And he is, unlike Drew, who really wanted to expand the horizons of the alien archives, I went with Elf. Because
All right, both Bert and Tyler, you understand we're playing Starfinder. Right?
I
No
forgot
old-
the assignment.
Lend me your bow, Tyler. Join me on the
honest with you, to be honest with you, listeners, we got on the podcast today, and I forgot I needed to make a character, and so I've just grabbed what came first.
you grabbed an old Pathfinder
Yes.
character. And you created-
So
you're
he's
an elf,
wearing-
like
he's an
a regular
elf. Regular elf. He has long, dark hair. He has a pale complexion. His eyes, if you were to see them, are kind of a yellowish color, and they glow almost like they're constantly magical in nature. And he wears long, flowing robes, and the areas where those robes might billow a little more, those are wrapped in long ribbons that come off of him.
Ooh.
If folks want to know the inspiration kind of for his look or for his art, he is modeled after Jino from Afro Samurai when he was wearing all the different numbered headbands. So if you look at that art, that's kind of the idea.
If you listen to our podcast listeners, it's dozens of people Googling something right now. Typing on their phone, they're listening to us on.
And so as he's
Afro
walking, he is walking
I don't remember. I've seen it,
slowly. He has a ethereal presence.
Ooh.
And he maybe at some point he runs like into the captain's chair because he does not stop looking up, or he does not look up. He's just looking down, and he kind of notices that he's hit something, and then he looks around the room and he says, It is time for shift. Oh, I am fortunate to have arrived. And then maybe looking around a little further, he goes, Sir Yamfram, what is the time in this timeline?
I reflexively look at my wrist and realize I don't have a watch. And I say,
The dial doesn't work when when you're in space.
oh no. I say, you're right on time. Don't worry about it, friend. Don't worry your mind. You've shown up at exactly the moment. Here you are.
He kind of seems lost for a second, and then he says, Of course. Thank you. I will take my seat then. And he just sits in the captain's chair that he just bumped into. But before he even sits down, he's already back in his book. And I think for his crewmates, that is the most probably frustrating or annoying thing about Pradier, is that he is not in the present often. He is distracted, and it will often take them maybe a few times to get his attention. And even when they get it, it is lost very quickly. So there's a lot of repeating or really making sure that he is indeed there with them in the moment. And, you're probably used to him saying very often in conversation, I'm with you now. I'm here with you now. And that's kind of his.
I was not listening to you before at all.
Yeah,
But now
yeah.
you said
Definitely paying attention.
Don't even bother
this is
repeating it.
this
You
is
were
just
with
such
me
a common.
20 minutes late yesterday.
So hearing that, he tries to say that to other people to give them more confidence that he is actually paying attention in that moment. But that's Pradier.
Awesome. Maybe I should have mentioned I just really don't like elves, Tyler. You really
no.
should have ran this by me. They're like my least favorite fantasy race. A big, aloof book nerd of an elf.
I feel like I'm destined for the airlock in this time.
Last but not least, you guys know for a fact that you have a fifth crewmate that's on your rotation team, and someone you've had to, I guess, the pleasure to deal with for the last month or so. Miles, should we first describe the fact that we've tried to be ultra secret to everyone on the podcast? Like, you've not told them like any details about your character thus
Yeah, and
far?
I forgot that we were doing the flashback episode, so it kind of
That's gonna be your
ruins this
actual
completely.
introduction. Well, yes. While
He just walks in like under a bed sheet.
yeah, you've been under a bed sheet for a month, and you're finally ready to reveal yourself. No, but this is this is the actual live first time reveal of your character to all your friends here on the podcast. Who comes walking in the door last?
Well, first of all, how large is that door? Would the door be able to sustain?
Oh no. Oh no.
The door's about 5 feet wide, so
Okay.
not huge.
Okay.
How big is your character? Should we be worried?
No, but there's other parts to my character. So in walks a 3.5 foot creature who is adorned in what seems to be some sort of uniform, although there's no designation, there's no badges, there's nothing that, or at least there's no insignia. And what you see is a small gray, one of the more mysterious races in Starfinder. As far as what would frustrate their teammates, my character does not divulge information, and in fact sometimes purposefully just says something that is completely incorrect. Everyone seems to believe that my character is there for something else, because there's no reason, it's just there. Because Greys haven't been part of, there's still rumors for the most part. And for one just to kind of show up on a shift like this is very strange.
It's a large time commitment your character has made here, for Project Horizon. And when you say gray, you mean like a little
the classic
man
gray
kinda
alien. Yes, you've got the bulbous head, the large emotionless black eyes. Your classic alien.
Right.
And in that tradition, I wanted to play something like this because little is known about them, as a kind of a Starfinder nod to the OG aliens. And I thought this could be a fun avenue to explore this character. And as they stride in confidently, but without any sort of arrogance, you also see a small vehicle following behind them.
Oh,
And-
no.
And a vehicle that doesn't look dissimilar to what I'm going to share with the chat in our Discord. Because if there's one thing that the party has learned, it's that my character seems to have an affinity for what they call classic or retro or primitive vehicles. It's almost like model collecting to my character. And my character is a vehicle mechanic.
Listeners, Miles has put a 1984 station wagon.
It's a Vista Cruiser.
Is this the Vista Cruiser from Evil Dead?
It's not the car from Evil Dead, but it's a Vista Cruiser.
Well, what if it is? What if canonically it turns out to be Sam Raimi's car?
I think it is. I think this is Sam Raimi's car.
It's Raimi's car. Wait a minute.
Oh no! The tie-in.
It's his old beater.
Well, I should say at this point it does not look like that vehicle. It's only about 4 foot across if it's following you. It's
Right.
It's a tiny
miniature.
Vista Cruiser.
It's a miniature version of it.
It looks like only your character can fit in it.
You know,
At
Like
this
one of
moment,
the
Smokes and
toddler
Spanners,
jeeps.
It looks like a toddler Jeep, yeah.
Yes, it does. But so the cool thing about vehicle mechanics is when they're doing other things, they can make their vehicles compact. If we had this space, if we were not on the bridge, this would basically kind of expand into a regular size vehicle that the entire party can fit into.
Oh, it's a wagon.
And it also provides cover.
Glad I bought those formation boots then.
Who is your character? What are you playing? You said Gray and Mechanic. What's their name?
Yeah, so
Or how would you introduce yourself?
My character does not introduce. They just stare blankly. When push comes to shove, my character has basically my character does not like having to speak that much. They find this plains language extremely unnuanced and guttural, and so every single
blasé.
time my character talks, they just seem irritated about it.
Well, and it's also they don't act. You mentioned this. They don't speak. They only telepathically.
So Greys only communicate telepathically. So you just hear an aggravated voice in your head when my character does choose to communicate. The one time someone has asked my character's name, they basically just said there are not enough syllables or words to properly put into context how your plane cannot conceive this being's name. If you have to call this being anything, it would be.
That's what they hear.
Yes, that's what everyone hears. The Greys are so unknowable, and even within the confines of this podcast, their name cannot be spoken aloud. So the only thing you ever see from my character is the word redacted.
That pops up in their brains as well.
Yes,
Oh,
it's just like they just it's just kind of a hidden, like they just it's blank.
Redacted.
So my character is redacted. My character has been, I think, I would imagine maybe Asher or Jamfram has tried to kind of play nice and ask several questions, trying to get some sort of name or even pronoun preferences, to which my character said this being's only pronouns are personal. So my character only responds to the name or
beep.
Yes.
Okay. I already told Miles I'm not beeping it every time on the podcast.
No. That's why we chose to call the character redacted.
The first couple of times anyone says it, it's definitely getting beeped when you say, or maybe you just say it in context. Right, you guys are the bridge crew for the next 12 hours. Indeed, does anybody else have any other ways that you maybe your character gets on one another's nerves in this time?
I'm just sitting there just clacking on my tummy this whole time.
Like to a rhythm or just like arrhythmically or what?
No, just trying to get that sweet meat out of this urchin.
Well, I will say that there was a joke made about the royal we earlier, but my character really does refer to themselves as we because they see themselves as two entities.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Forged into a single one. And I imagine that could get on some people's nerves. Would mine in real life.
Well,
so.
But also go by they, them, and everyone else.
Yes.
I think all pronouns that match their actual real life pronouns. So a bunch of
my character.
Well, not redacted.
Yeah.
But
yes,
everyone else.
Redacted and Asher are they them. I think the rest of us are.
Nope, not they, them. My character's only pronouns are personal, as in personal pronouns.
So we cannot use a name or a pronoun when referring to this character. So
that's why my character is so frustrated by this plane.
You have to say redacted every
Miles,
time.
we're not going to talk about your character ever again.
that is what they want to happen.
Yeah, that's exactly
what redacted wants to happen.
That's what I want to happen.
You're giving in to redacted's game.
I being the personal pronoun that redacted prefers.
Yeah.
Can we say, hey, you? Just.
you can certainly say it. You may not get a response.
He doesn't. They don't respond. Oh yeah. So yeah, maybe. I think if you guys put in a vote of like who's the most annoying to work with, it's probably redacted. No small talk,
and we'll never know who it is.
Yeah. Yeah, how they got through the background screening process to get onto this starship, you might be a little confused by as well. But indeed, they were their information was blanked out in the system. But yeah, you guys are getting on one another's nerves because it was supposed to take a little over 3 weeks. The estimates when you left Absalom Station,
a 3-week tour.
You were supposed to be there over almost 2 weeks ago, but every day that this journey has continued since then, yourself, the other crew, and passengers seem to have gotten more and more anxious. They've been waiting for the computer to finally tell you you've arrived out in the vast, and this is pushing the limits, really, of some of the longer
trips that you can take from Absalom Station. You know, it's a kind of a centralized location in the drift, but going to the far edges of the galaxy mechanically takes, I think, 5d6 days, maybe a little bit more if you're going further out, but it's taken probably the maximum amount of time it has for this kind of journey before. And that's why on this shift, when the computer starts beeping incessantly at you, you guys probably get extremely excited as your own old positions in the deck here and can shoot up as you go to check this beeping out. Another figure appears on the command deck here. Behind you is the settlement's advisor walking through the doors. Ezerand Shire, a fairly young human man, comes in on some techno crutches that silently pad and power their steps, and he asks you all, let me show you. Oh, we'll first show you what his character art looks like. He's on the cover of Planetfall, so you might have seen this art before.
So he's the bad guy.
Oh, you foiled me. The season's over.
Quick, get him.
No, there's sometimes good guys on the cover here.
Yeah, Jabert, we don't have an envoy this season.
Yeah, right.
Spoilers. Drew, come on.
Drew.
They already know what we're playing. They listened to episode 0.
That's a good point. Good point. He says to you all, what's all the commotion, huh? Did the ship finally decide it's time to drop us out of the drift? I sure could use some solid ground under these feats of mine. As you guys are here in your science officer, and you got navigation, gunnery, engineering, captains, chairs, and looking into these computers. Oh, does anyone want to make a quick computers check? See if you can figure out what it's trying to relay to you.
Redacted can.
Oh,
24.
Oh my goodness gracious! First roll of the DP. Quite good. I imagine you have pretty good computers. Is that?
I do. I have a +8 to computers.
So you just lightning fast type up on the screen here and bring up indeed the computer's star chart system, but it doesn't seem like it's coming from navigation at all. This is not alerting you to leaving the drift, but rather this is an engine failure alert. This is an alarm coming from the engine room. It seems like there is a power depreciation. It is rapidly draining from the engine room, and the computer's automatic systems are failing to stop or slow it, which is why it is alerting the crew to act quickly. It seems to have like a countdown that looks like it's about 15 minutes, or potentially you're going to be dropped out of the drift into regular space dead in the water. How are you going to relay that information? Is Redacted sharing?
Redacted will just look and say 15 minutes and we're dead in the water.
Well, that doesn't seem very good. What the heck is happening down there in the engine room? We've been flying fine for over a month.
Never fear, friend. Erizand Shire. We shall see to this, and never you worry your pretty little head. To me, friends and colleagues, we shall to the engines, where more interesting things are happening than here.
As you're rallying the troops, to me, the doors slide open again, and we see here walking on the bridge Nasoki. There's another human and an Osharu walk inside, looking very sleepy, but also very tired. They were off shift, so they were probably asleep when this happened. The Osharu is named Laishoi and wears the robes, vestments of a priest of Oloratu, and he says, "Have we arrived at the Weydana System?" The Isoki, who introduced themselves as a member of Clan Deirdrick, comes up and says, "That's not a happy alarm, Padre. It looks like we're in trouble. Perhaps you might know this, perhaps not. The players know this, and I think our astute listeners out there will recognize that voice as none other than Kels Feldspar, brother of the heroic Starfinder Knack
Sister.
Feldspar. What?
Sister.
You're the brother, yes. Sister of Knack. Her brother is Knack. And indeed is traveling under Weydana 4, perhaps under her mother's clan name, Clan Deirdrick. The other human male here is an attaché named Balko Unktar, and he looks at the computer station and says, guys, we have a problem. He's trying to get your attention.
Well, speak up, Obed. Come on.
Oh, well, yeah. I opened up the comms to the engine room to see if anyone was down there, and, let me just play it for you. He opens up the comms, and you hear a loud banging sound along with maybe the sound of someone whistling a tune. Just clang, clang, clang.
Take two, Patrick. That I think you got noise gated or zoomed. Nothing.
Zoom
You
doesn't
can't whistle on Zoom.
Zoom doesn't like a whistle. How do I get around whistling? They're not whistling. They're banging out a jaunty tune. Clang, clang, clang. That's very confusing. Well, now I have to rewrite a character completely. There's someone that only whistles. So we got problems this season. No, you hear a bunch of noise coming out of the comms here, and Balko says, I just did a scan of life boards aboard the ship, and every single day that I've done it, we've had our full complement of 52 colonists, and now the computer is saying there are 53 life forms aboard the vessel, so ruh-roh. Do we have a stowaway on the ship?
You might want to look at those again, old man. Just make sure. Double check, huh?
Beep, boop, boop, beep, boop. Yeah, no, it's 53. It just shows me the number. I don't have to count it or anything. He'll show you the screen. And there's someone in the engine room.
Well, somebody better get down there, huh?
Jamfram is already trying to like fiddling with the door, but can't quite reach the latch just right.
The latch.
I'm reaching for an old timey door, Patrick.
Oh, okay. There's no latch. Yes. Ezran says, you five, you're all already kitted out. You got your weapons in your bunk, but we'll hold down the bridge. You get down to the engine room. You figure out what the pronk is happening to our ride, and hurry. I guess it does look like a time constraint here.
All right. Jamfram leads the way. Come on, friends.
Ezrand will walk on over and open the door for you, Jamfram, and says,
"Thank you, Ezrand."
Hey, Jamf.
Yes.
Keep an eye out down there. Good night. We don't know what treachery is afoot in the dark corners of the Drift Kingdom.
All right, I don't need you to talk down to me there,
I don't
Ezrand.
understand. I don't understand.
I can speak. I can speak common, Ezrand. All right,
I'm so sorry.
Oh, with me, and I walk out.
Just want to be part of the cool kids club. Okay.
Asher, as we leave, is going to turn up her music or their music on their comm unit and get pumped up. We're dancing down the hall.
Okay, you got like a playlist going.
Yeah, of course they do.
Excellent. Well, as you open up the hallways here, you know that down the hallway you've got the, of course, massive crew restrooms and living quarters for some of the bridge crew, and then a giant central elevator that can take you between the 4 floors of the ship, the 4 massive decks, and down to Deck 3, where the engine room is. Down a couple floors. Are you all feel good to pack yourselves into this little elevator?
Sure.
Yeah, Asher's jamming out. The sky is changing all different colors.
Are you
When
you bringing a
I better
vehicle
come
with
along.
you? Redacted.
Oh yeah.
maybe while the elevator is going down, Pradier just kind of says out loud, not to really anybody in particular, just look to the room. He goes, "It seems odd that if somebody wanted to sabotage the engines, they would do it in such a reckless manner. I wonder if this is not just a incompetent helper rather than a ne'er-do-well.
Villainy knows no smarts.
Insightful."
Right. So you guys can come to your shift, maybe haphazardly having it on, but with your armor already on. Not that you've needed it at all for the last few weeks, the last month.
Patrick, I
I
only
imagine
take this off for baths.
Jamfram is like ready for anything.
Do you even take it off for baths?
Only because it's just literally made of steel, and so like it'll rust if I get it wet too much, and so. But I still wear it in the bathtub sometimes, just because it's kind of fun to pretend you're a submarine.
Isn't it though?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it? I mean, we don't talk about that enough on the podcast enough, but 10 out of 10 on the fun scale.
Yeah. I'm just saying, if you can hold your breath for 10 minutes, you put on some big heavy armor, and you go sit at the bottom of a bathtub, and you see what that feels like. It feels pretty cool.
I maybe I've mentioned this, but in high school at a library event, I got to don a full set of male armor for some event. Someone brought in like a reconstructed suit of knight's armor, and it is very heavy. I guess you probably could have guessed that, but it is extremely heavy. Like sitting down was a chore in that. But it was a lot.
That's what they don't tell you in the history books, that these folks were all ripped, shredded, absolutely decked.
I did not.
That or very slow, or had very shredded horses.
I did not feel invulnerable like you would think you would feel wearing a suit of armor. I felt like I could be knocked over with a feather because I felt very top heavy, extremely
it's like
top
Robin
heavy.
in tights.
It's like
that scene when they dominate them.
Yeah, threw a 20-pound bag of rice in your arms and it was like, all right, now we're going to have a fight. And you're like, what? All right, side done. But yeah, that being said, if you don't have your weapon and armor on, you can stop by your bunk and pick those up. I imagine everyone doesn't have their weapon on them all the time. If you got like I don't know, does anybody have like a rocket launcher or something? I guess you should probably check your character sheets, but you can grab that now, is what I'm saying. And yeah, besides that, are your characters ready for danger? Are they prepared? Is anyone wanting to lead the way?
Oh, Jamfram is lead the way. Just get behind me, friends.
Righto, Scourge of Vengeance.
As you get down to the engine room, as it opens up here, like the emergency lights are on. There seems to be a coolant leak as steam is spraying out of a pipe in the back that is effusing the room, just full of mist, obscuring the engine driver itself. But yeah, through the fog, a little bit of darkness here, you can hear maybe some grunting and just another loud clang, clang, clang. Let me reveal on the map.
Oh no, the sea urchins have escaped.
they seek revenge. They seek revenge.
Swarm of sea urchins.
So I've opened up the map here to the south a little bit. I guess I can just reveal all of it. Deck number 3, we've got some more cargo hold space, but also about half of this deck is the engine room here on the map. Do you guys see where we are at?
Yes.
Yeah, this is engineering is the entire room, so it's more than just the engine room. But what would you like to do? That's the scene you get to see. What would you like to do once you get down here? The elevator door dings open.
And that's the elevator door is what's labeled number 7 here. Is that right?
No, that is an airlock behind you. Yes, you guys are in the elevator. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
So there's like 6 characters here, so you're covering the elevator completely.
Indeed, I step forward towards the core, and I raise my visor and I look around, and I say, "Who goes there?"
The clanging
and
stops.
I'm going to make a perception check to try to see where that clanging was coming from. The evenest of it. Wait a minute, that's not right.
Yeah, I was about to say you've rolled a 10 and you have no.
That's not true. It's not.
That's
true
impossible.
It's not true on my character sheet. Okay, so that would be a 14, and I'll start working on figuring out why my checks don't roll.
Well, yeah, you don't see anything, but I think perhaps on the far port side of the ship, I'm trying to get the orientation correctly. The right side of the ship, right? Port side. You do.
Port is left.
The starboard side of the ship. You can hear the sounds, maybe some mumbling coming from from over that direction. But you don't see who or what is there yet. Does anybody else want to move in the room or do anything else? Everyone's in the elevator still at this point.
Asher will move forward cautiously, and
no one's ever said in any of my games, I'm going to just run forward haphazardly, and I'm waiting for it. I'm still waiting.
You have played games with Tyler for like a decade now. You know that he does that every time.
I have not said it out loud. I guess I should start saying exactly that line. I have certainly run forward haphazardly a few times. Patrick got upset just in DMR&C because I just walked into a teleport circle without paying any attention to the consequences.
I wasn't angry. I was happy. We had a fun episode out of that.
It was wild.
What? Zilix or Redacted? Anything you guys want to do? You're still in the elevator right now.
Redacted's going to just observe for right now.
From the elevator?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Drew?
Don't mind me, old chaps. Go have fun.
The doors try to close on you. Do you guys want to catch them? Or
my tail was just kind of hanging out there, and it just closed on my tail and then opened back up again.
Okay. Right. So as you're standing here, after a little while, you hear a clang, clang, clang as something seems to hit the deck. And through the haze emerges what looks like a small little dragon man, little dragon creature with a long tail that seems to be dragging a spanner behind it as it almost floats forward. And behind it, you can see where it seemed to be putting a dent in the engine casing for some of its coolant here. And
Hold, foul beast!
where it was making a concerted effort to really crack that thing open like I don't know, like some kind of sea animal with a hard shell. I don't have an example on hand, but
A mollusk, maybe.
yeah, I guess. It's cracking that engine shell open like a mollusk. It's very startled as it comes through the haze and sees you and says, "Oh my goodness! There you are! My supplicants! My peons! My servants! Please, assist me in getting this infernal contraption open. I really want to take a nap inside there where it's nice and ionizey, you know? This is what it looks like. I've already shown you the character art here. This is this little guy. He's like 2 feet tall, maybe?
Oh, so you mean like a really little dragon?
He's a wee dragon. I'm so sorry I didn't throw a 15-foot dragon at your character first. First things first. Yeah,
Can I roll life science to identify this thing?
Oh no, of course not. This would be mysticism check. Does anybody want to roll mysticism?
can I roll mysticism?
Oh yeah, if you want. Yeah, go right ahead.
It's a 17 for Asher.
Is mysticism trained only? Yeah, it is.
Tyler, did you roll as well?
Yeah, but Prater didn't really look up enough from the book to get a good glimpse. I think maybe he just looks around and actually maybe not doesn't even see the creature because it's so small. He just is going by the voice and doesn't recognize it from any other creature he's heard before. So,
of course, Asher, they have extensive studying in their background. I don't know why you keep playing bookish characters, Rebecca. But
Well, I don't. I have
nope. It's now canon that you're the smart one on this season.
mysticism is wisdom.
That's a good point. But yeah, whatever arcane you feel, you know what this is, and you've definitely heard about it somewhere. This is a Protean Rifty, a chaotic being made of maelstrom energy itself between torn dimensions, and you've rolled a 17. That is enough to know one piece of information about them. What would you like to know? If you want, I can just tell you maybe something a little useful piece of info.
Sure.
They spawn into existence and last a few hours, but that entire time they are bouncing back and forth between phases of energy, and that gives them basically every moment to moment a different kind of energy immunity, randomly assigned. Just every round.
Okay.
Redacted would kind of tilt his head and look at the creature and kind of just smirk to himself.
Okay, creepy.
Well, Asher would relay to her team or their team that beware this creature. It is unpredictable.
Ah, yes. Dragons frequently are, which I assume is what this is. And I draw my sword and I say, put down the spanner, ye friendly dragon, and we shall have no quarrel.
No, that's not gonna happen. You silly physical beings, you. Nah, I'm gonna do what I want, and you're gonna help me.
Then have at you, I say. And,
What? Have at what? What are you talking about? Ah!
I charge.
No, we're in initiative turn order already. Let's roll it. Also, looks like you're about 5 feet away from them. 10 feet away from them.
Something with input value.
Okay, I've got everyone's initiative roll here, and hilariously, Jabert, it does look like you're going first, but you can. Did you want to start this off by taking an action specifically? Like you want to move in before this combat starts?
I mean, I'll move in on my turn.
Yeah, I think you get a move or a standard if you're literally kicking off combat. It doesn't seem like he was very angry at you, but he is destroying the ship.
Yeah, that's a problem.
You live here right now. This is like your house.
You can imagine that if I were a farmer and he came in here and started kicking my corn, I'd be pretty upset. You understand? This engine is my corn.
It's my corn. Okay, Jamfram's up first. What would you like to do?
All right, I'm going to swing my mighty blade, I guess. Oh, right. Yeah, there's not a 3 actions, right? Because I'm not actually playing Pathfinder.
You're real confused here. You're way in the woods on this one.
Yeah. All right, yeah. So I think I'm going to make one attack. Yeah,
okay.
Make one attack. Ooh,
Hey-yo.
natural 11. So a 15 to attack.
That is a hit. This guy's like, what? You have a sharp implement.
Yes, it's not made of fire or ice, and it's a 6 damage.
Oh, did I mention I'm also immune to sharp, pointy things?
I'm immune
I
to
forgot.
sticks and things.
How dare you? Did you have a move action?
I'm level 1, Patrick. You know I don't have a move action.
I don't know that.
You know what? I'll take a guarded step around this.
Ooh,
this
okay.
fella.
All right, you're stepping into the steam here.
Oh wait, there's steam here.
Yeah, I mean it's non restrictive steam, but
okay,
it'll work for you.
All right, let me just make sure I know what's happening here. Okay, yeah, no. Just making sure I don't have any actual abilities here. No.
That's quite all right.
Okay.
Next up is our good friend who has only strived to take a little nap in your very expensive starship's engine room. He's going to look down at the wound you've created on him, which seems to be, bleeding like plasma almost. He's like, what? Is this what pain feels like? Yeah, well, I've adopted many forms and I've died many times, but I've not thought that I would go like this. I'm dead now. You don't have to attack me anymore. Goodbye.
We have vanquished the enemy. Congratulations, everyone. And I let my guard down.
You foolish fool. It whips around and slithers inside your armor and tries to bite you on the ankle. I've got you now where I want you.
Wait, in my armor?
Yeah, it's going to try to get right underneath it. What? I guess it can try to bite through it. I don't know, but I want to describe it as getting in the cracks.
Okay, I
want my dice to do well here, and I imagine you actually have good AC, KAC.
I'm pretty good for level 1. Yeah,
Insurmountable, we'll say.
See how I do.
Oh, not that insurmountable.
Ooh, 17 on the dice. That is a hit.
That's right,
A hit, and I don't know if you're ready for this damage, Shepard. Oh boy. Level 1, we're back at it with a D4. 1 point of damage. Maybe piercing?
Yeah, jam from goes down.
Goes down.
My only weakness.
No.
Glass cannon.
Well, I lied. It's not just 1 damage. It's also a will save for me.
Well, will saves are my good one, but that doesn't mean anything at level 2.
Yes.
Or level 1.
But also level 2.
Yeah, but also level 2. And 11.
Right. As this thing's venom, or perhaps an aspect of its bite, gets right into your system, you gain the confused condition.
Oh,
We're starting off
Already?
wrong.
Ron, this is the Ron Lundeen
This is the
special,
Ron Lundeen
baby.
touch, baby.
This is Patrick adding this to the AP. Oh,
Wait. This is Patrick.
this is technically a named character from Cosmic Crit Canon.
Oh,
You didn't even ask what it was, so now I'm gonna hurt you guys. And I think you can still make no, you're confused after. Do you get attacks of opportunity if they've not attacked you after you become confused?
yeah. I don't think so.
Okay, no one else has acted yet. It's actually going to take its move action to retreat away to the far corner of the room. It just kind of flies over and maybe up a little bit. So it's like up in the corner, just like, why would you do that to me? I didn't do nothing to you.
Well, so what it says is I treat all enemy or all creatures as enemies. So I might go on.
That's true.
Oh no! While confused, you can't make any attacks of opportunity.
I was about to say, I think you
not already.
unless you focus in on someone.
Right. And unless I'm already attacking it, I can't make an attack of opportunity. Got it.
Yeah, we might not get that far. We'll go on to our friend Prey Deer is next in the turn order. Tyler.
Pradier will. He's going to close his book and say, "Your inability to compromise has been noted." And then he kind of maybe, as he reaches a hand out, you see it begin to coalesce magical energy. And he says, "Perhaps we can see what your nightmares are made of." And
I feel like he's talking to me.
That's disturbing.
and,
I don't like it.
I'm so sorry. And let's roll an intimidate check. That's well, you know what?
That's a thing.
Actually, let's not roll an intimidate check.
Ooh.
Let's see how good this thing's DC is. Let's take, for you fans at home, Pradier is a precog.
I think we might have figured that out in episode 0, but yes.
Oh, well, in case you didn't listen to episode 0.
Yes, in case.
And I can take certain dice rolls for granted, essentially. This is the perfect character for me.
Oh, plenty of people guessed it, I think, in our
So instead
Crittermander
of
Discord.
rolling,
They're like, Tyler,
instead of rolling
play
a dice here
precog.
on this intimidation check, I am simply going to take an 11 here. And I'm going to add my intimidation bonus, which is a 7 to make this an 18. Now, this is demoralize. So, this is against a creature DC.
Yes.
I put it in the chat.
Or
So we'll see.
the opponent's CR or 10 plus its intimidate. I don't think it's going to intimidate. I'll double check. No. So this is against its, what, 15 plus 1.5 its CR. Do you think that's enough here at level 1, Tyler?
I'm hoping that squeaks out.
What was your score?
18.
Yep, that's a success.
Yeah.
not
So
a
you
CR
you are
for me.
shaken for a single round. And how this kind of manifests is that the magic just begins to show this creature visions that, terrify it, essentially. And that's a move action.
Oh, no. Oh, the action economy.
Yeah. And then as...
This creature says, wait, is that sense dependent or language dependent? I don't speak your language. I don't speak this language I'm talking right now. I've only learned what I've said up until this point.
Oh, yeah, no, totally. Why don't you make me a will save?
Oh, no.
DC 14. Oh, I think you've made it.
I rolled a 14 on the dice. I don't have a negative, so that is a success.
All right. Well, let's see what if anything happens. There is a partial effect.
Okay.
You become fascinated for 1 round.
But Patrick, you do take a -2 penalty to saving throws because you're
Intimidated.
shaken.
I don't think.
I've rolled a 14, so I'm unfortunately that is still a success.
Oh, my will save is a +2. So
I thought maybe.
maybe.
Maybe it only had a +1, and that would get us there. But yeah, what essentially a Pradier pulls into its mind visions of a pleasant place, something that would make it feel comfortable. And for just a moment around, it is fascinated.
Why give me all these conditions? I didn't do nothing to you, Tyler.
Then he says, "Someone finish this creature."
Ooh, that's frightening. Okay, well, next up is Redacted. Miles.
All right. Go ahead and make me a will save.
What? Why is it? Why you guys all have magic users? What is
At a
this?
-2 penalty.
Oh boy.
He's rolling rocks. He's rolling rocks.
I've rolled
Terrible.
I've only rolled one side of the dice, the good side. 17 on the dice. That is a success. What are you doing to me, though?
Well, I mean, the good thing is, for me, it just halves the damage of a mind thrust.
What? Oh, is that a great thing?
Yes. So you take 7 points of damage.
No. How? Oh my god. I forgot how much mind thrust is. It's 2d10.
Yes.
I'm gonna double check this because I hate it. I hate it so much. It starts at 2d10, and yeah, will for half. So 7 points on the board for Redacted. Did you have a move action you wanted to do?
Oh no, they're content right there. They're just Redacted is thinking how interesting this creature will look on his probing table.
From this picture you selected, it almost makes me think that you might mount him on your front of your truck.
Right. I didn't select that picture. Patrick did while we're waiting on art. I also said his because I was being shorthanded, but
Yes.
Redacted is certainly thinking of what to do after this creature is defeated.
Well, but it might be pretty soon because he's bloodied now, but he's also no longer fascinated because you've cast a spell against him. But still got some friends in the turn order, including next up is Zilix, Drew.
You know, old sport, the elevators may not be the best place to stand in the combat. You never want anything falling out from under you. And he's going to step forward all the way over in front of this creature. And as he does so, you see a weapon sort of materialize from his arm. Just a long sword, nothing special.
His arm turns into a sword, or
It just kind of
shows up.
You see kind of a ripple, and you see something manifest in his hand.
I'm so confused by Starfinder. This could be anything. This could be tech. This could be magic. Who knows? And what I can guess as to what you're going to do with the sword, but maybe you should spell it out for us.
Oh, I am going to ATTACK attack. That's what we're gonna do.
Patrick,
Attack the ground?
Drew, was that as fast as you can spell attack?
It was dramatic. It was dramatic effect. Well, it's not dramatic what you've rolled here, because I think this 8 on the dice is going to be a mess.
Ah, punk.
What's Zilix got to say about that?
Well, whoops.
I meant to hit you. That's the thing. Well, last but not least, bottom of the introductions and bottom of the turn order so far, Rebecca, we got Asher and Sky up next.
Yeah, Asher is. So I gain an entropy point at the beginning of my turn. And
You're keeping track of more points?
yes, I've even got a tracker. And we are going to charge across the room. Oh no, I can't because the lizard's in the way.
People are in the way.
The lizard.
I have a name, old sport.
Well, never mind. Can I charge to that spot? No.
Well, it's got to be a straight line, but on a diagonal, I think so long as there's no one between you, like in any of these squares, I don't think there are any. I think you can make that.
Okay. Okay, well, all right.
If
that
Drew
would be
was
great.
here, that would be a no. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Okay. Okay. In that case, I am going to charge. That gives me another entropy point, and I'm going to apply an entropy point on my entropic strike at the end of this charge.
All right. Make that attack.
I'm going to add the 1d4 that I get as extra to the macro.
You're going to have to explain this entire class again to me. It's been a little while.
I know. All right, so that's a 22 to attack.
I was about to say, you got a little negative here, but it doesn't matter. That's a hit.
All right, so that does 7 bludgeoning damage against EAC.
Oh, no one wants to do... Let me just roll randomly real quick here. No one wants to do... acid damage? You can do acid, right?
Nope. I'm choosing bludgeoning.
It'd be real cool if you did acid right now. Okay, yeah, you punch this tiny dragon.
Oh, no, I don't punch it.
are you
I
doing?
forgot to describe my attack. As Asher moves across the room, they raise up in the air and jump at the end of their charge with a ribbon up in the air and bring it and smack them down with the ribbon.
A ribbon, you say? The
Yes, battle ribbon.
insult to injury here. Yes, so perhaps part of it like wraps around this little dragon creature's tail as he gets thwonk, brought down to the ground and knocked out. Just knocked right out of this combat. No turn 2 for us. And he drops down. It's like, okay, I was joking before, but I'm really out of this now. You guys beat me up real bad, and I don't like it anymore. I don't like you. You know what? You're not allowed to be my servants anymore. How about that?
We don't serve you.
That's what I just said. You're not allowed to.
Who do you work for?
I'm me. I work for me.
What brings you to this ship?
I do what I want. I'm a old school villain. I'm a ne'er-do-well, one might call me.
I deal 11 damage to myself. I'm very bloodied.
Back damage.
I'm extremely bloodied.
You broke your jib.
I need help. I need medical assistance. Everyone stay away from me. Stay away from me.
Zilix sees what's going on with the Scourge of Urchins, and he walks over, and you see him place a hand onto him. And
All right, make an attack roll.
it's not an attack roll.
Yeah, you have to make an
he's
attack roll
hostile.
to me.
You're done being confused at the end of your turn.
Oh, at the end of my turn. Okay,
It's
okay.
one action, and you decide to be as destructive as possible. I had to mute myself. I'm laughing too hard.
Patrick is the creature the creature's down, right?
Yes, it is dying. You see, it seemed to kind of unravel, starting at the tail, and is disappearing from this reality. Oh, this is only the 10,000th time I've died, and this one's probably the worst. I actually wanted to be friends with you. I thought I could be like your adventuring companion, but apparently we decided to go a different way this season.
Begone, foul beast! And I charge it with my sword again.
You took your confused action, sir. Oh, you nearly killed yourself. He says, I didn't even get to tell you my name. But I guess we'll save that for next time. Silly permanent flesh beans. I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna be back in another form before you even know it. Oh, well, you haven't seen the last of. And before he can finish and tell you his name, he pops out of existence, just like a bubble bursting. Here one moment, gone the next.
He called us flesh beans.
Beans,
Beans.
but also he called you a bean.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
The temporary annoyance gone. Let us get the engines taken care of so we can move along from this trivial.
Well, while you guys do that, I'm going to take a 10-minute rest.
You sit down and crack some sea urchins on your belly. Oh, goodness gracious. Well, while you do that, the comms crackle to
I
life
did 11
behind you.
damage to myself. That was insane.
Pretty good.
The comms crackle to life behind you, and you hear Ezran Shire's voice. say, guys, did I just hear that right? Did you seem to fight some kind of crazy, extra-dimensional, extremely evil creature?
It was extremely evil. It was the evilest creature that's ever been.
Wow, that's the most excitement we've had on board the ship in months or weeks. The engine still seems to be down on power. Redacted? Perhaps you could take a look at it?
Wordlessly, Redacted walks over to.
It would have to be
inspect
wordlessly
it.
because I think your limited telepathy only goes 30 feet. So
Yeah, it's true. I mean, Redacted was not going to respond anyway.
that's fair.
I can see you on the limited camera feed we have here. Thank you. Thank you. Do you want to make an engineering check for me, Miles?
Yeah, and trying to see if this comes into play, but let me see how this goes first.
This is technically a repair action, so if you have any boosts,
Well, I was looking.
just roll me the dice and see. We'll see if we need to figure out some things, because I bet you roll a rock. Yeah, roll the a rock. What is this result?
25.
Okay, yeah. In Pathfinder 2e terms, that'd be a critical success. Indeed, it does not take long. I think you're done before our friend Jamfram is done resting, and you can ride back up the elevator there, and it dings on the second deck where a number of colonists are crowded around the elevator, and you get pelted with like 50 questions all at the same time because there's not been any action on this flight the entire time. And now everyone is up and has been trading rumors back and forth about what crazy massive dragon attacked the ship, or what was it, pirates? Were there pirates? A orcish woman asks. You get close the doors, get back up to command deck though, and there's some more figures up here as you get here, including a Hannikin who seems to have taken over the command chair. Hannikin named Veach, and a couple others. Most of the crew are up and ready now, but Veach says, the first sign of action, and I misses it. Yeah, so maybe everyone here asks you for a little debrief, and afterwards, Kells will tell you all, well, what's that thing? Is it true what it said? Is it going to come back and haunt us?
I would not concern yourself over the haunting of such a creature of little importance. I think anyone here could have dealt with the creature, and it seemed more invested in our ongoings than it did that of the ship and the mission.
The Asharan priest Lashoy says, it is a being known as a Rifty. It is from an unmaterial plane of pure chaos. Likely we will not see it again for some time. I would bet on it. And as he says that, there's another alert on the computer console that starts flashing. He says, okay, well, I'm not betting money on it. I didn't mean to say that. But as you examine this alert this time, it is indeed the Burnished Dawn's telenav system, indicating the presence of a temporary drift beacon and asking the ship's computer and command to drop the ship out of hyperspace travel back into the material plane. Ezran says, well, maybe that little crazy thing was our good luck charm. Seems like we might finally get our first glimpse of Weydana 4. Do one of you guys want to make an announcement to the sailors? It doesn't have to be a fancy speech, but something to keep them a little apprised of the situation before we head in. I can feed remote sensors to the monitors downstairs so they can watch as we approach. Anybody want to say anything on this momentous occasion?
Sure.
Oh, Prater stepping up, Tyler.
To all beings on board, we are about to approach the system of our objective. Throughout the infinite timelines, you now find yourself here. Your life, your purpose, now lays before you. Enjoy this moment, crewmates.
As soon as you click the comms off, Kells says, finally, almost 2 weeks overdue. I'm gonna sue whoever programmed that nav computer, but I can't deny I can't wait to see my new digs for the next couple of years. As you guys leave drift travel, you see the light of 1,000,000 stars open up in the view screen in front of you as it kind of bends into existence and pops back in. And before you, in the middle of this sea of stars, is a large, gray, and completely lifeless rock beneath the ship, a few thousand miles down. The cheers on the deck perhaps turn to confusion as you all kind of look around and be like, what? What? All of you stunned, perhaps. Does anybody want to make me a physical science check?
Sure.
I can do that too.
Oh no!
Oh, we found your weak spots, redacted.
Well, rolling a natural one.
Yeah.
We'll do that. Even though I have a great physical science.
Well, it's our friend Zilix. Nothing to snuff at. What'd you get here, Drew?
That's a 24.
I think with that, redacted thinks all is lost. The planet has been destroyed. But you know that this is not Weydana 4 you're looking at. But indeed, it seems like you guys have jumped to the dark side of the moon here for the planet. The lunar charts the crescent diviners brought back from the devastation arc, the moon giants that scouted this system many decades ago. On File can confirm this after you do a quick scan. And Ezerand will come back and say, well, it looks like we're going to have to wait a little bit, but we're going to get a pretty amazing sight here in a minute, folks. We're going to use the moon and slingshot around and get a planet rise up over the horizon. And it's going to be quite a show. So, inflate some Ruka kernels and sit back and enjoy. Settlers all over the ship gather with friends, family, loved ones, people that have traveled here aboard this vessel with you for 33 days. They sit in the many common rooms, embrace one another, cheer as over the next hour, sight of a bright blue and green planet crests the circular horizon of this lifeless moon. It takes a few minutes of boosted travel to clear enough of it to take a good first look at the shape of this planetoid below you. It's a beautiful blackwater planet, mostly water, diverse biomes covering several continents, but something does seem off as you look on, for it doesn't match some of the limit files and outlines you had in place from the Crescent Diviners. Coastlines are wrong. As you watch while the computer does a far-off scan on the current visible side of the planet, it starts to match with a database trying to look for discrepancies and pulls up a holographic map of what it's seeing here. And the only thing that it matches it to is it looks like a faded piece of vellum scored and inked thousands of years ago. Ezerand kind of looks at what he's seeing here and takes off his glasses and squints at the holographic display and says, oh, these scans have to be wrong. There's no way. But indeed, the computer has seemingly found a match pulled from very recent Starfinder archive and thought to be a blank map wiped out by the gap long ago. It now seems to have words and lines popping up across this map showing ancient mountain ranges, a vast sea of squiggly lettering denoting places of yore, and a couple of very large terms written across the top of it. As you look down below you at the planet coming into view, the continents here for yourself, something inside you kind of confirms what you're looking at. For lying untouched beneath you all is a gap-forgotten, long-lost planet, the planet of Galarion, the center of the packed world where now only Absalom Station remains, an ancient planet thought lost forever, just sitting here at the edge of the galaxy in a vast spiral arm of the cosmos. People begin to realize what's happening on the ship, and there's gasps from the crew, there's shocked expressions, there's general bewilderment as far as you can see. As this happens, several words pop up on this ancient vellum map as you read across the computer screen here. In front of you are the words, "Welcome to Season 5." And also, a to be continued.
Woo! Woo! Holy.
That's a reveal.
Yeah. Jabert, you and I did pick the appropriate character.
Guys, I've been keeping that secret for well over a year and a half since I decided to play Horizons of the Vast. Oh, we playing on Galarian, folks.
Oh, snap. We're back, baby.
Did I tell?
I'm playing Pathfinder, baby.
Did I mention season 5 of Cosmic Crate was going to be kind of big? Maybe a little cosmos changing, world shattering.
And what's Galarian?
Oh, that's a great question, Drew. Well, it's a planet everyone forgot about and doesn't exist in Starfinder, but that's where like almost all of Pathfinder takes place. I probably should have prefaced that.
Yeah, because Drew and I are not Pathfinder players, so I had no idea either.
That's where Skull and Shackles is taking place right now over on Patreon. You maybe can understand a little bit of the crazy big secret indeed I've been holding on to, but yeah, next week we're going to start the process of settling down on Galarian. We are not using the maps that are in the actual Starfinder campaign, Horizons of the Vast. We're using Pathfinder maps for this campaign.
Patrick, you're insane.
I'm doing what I want.
I hope this means that I was sitting here regretting my character choices because I was like, I am terrible at all of the technological skills and all of the sciences. Hopefully this means that we'll be okay.
You know what? No computers checks the rest of the season. You guys are free from computers. Just throw them into the ocean as soon as you sit
all
down.
Analog.
No, we're settling down next week on Pathfinder First Edition maps of the continents of Avestan and Garuns on the Inner Sea. And indeed, I've got some big question marks, I'm sure, just like the people at Paizo have lingered in front of folks for years, if not over a decade. What happened to the Galarian since its disappearance? What is happening with the system? What am I planning on doing with this setting? And a ton of more questions that I probably haven't even thought of to answer yet. Everything will be answered this season, but you have to listen in order to find out. No spoilers for anyone in the Discord.
Or hold Patrick to gunpoint.
Oh, yeah. I don't have this written down anywhere, so I guess hope I don't get mugged and shot somewhere, or else you'll never know. You better keep me safe.
Let's go.
Yes. And we should probably mention, Jabrit, you developed this character independently. You didn't know this was coming.
Not even a little bit.
Tyler didn't know he was going to be able to settle ancient elfin homelands and whatnot. And
wild.
And maybe the Greys were also on Galarian. I don't know. Maybe I haven't read through all the APs. Guys, are you ready for this season of Cosmic Grid?
No.
I don't think so anymore.
Nope.
I'm sorry I've lied to you for the last year. Weydana 4 is a little bit different and going to take you for a bit of a proverbial ride over the next few years. So U4 or U5, I said 4 because that's how many are on our Pathfinder podcast. U5, buckle up indeed for next week's episode. That is going to do it for episode 1 of season 5. Guys, thank you all for playing with me.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
There you go.
Critter Mariners out there, thank you for listening. Trust me, you do not want to miss next week's thrilling episode here on Cosmic Crit. So long.
Yarg.
No, that's
Bye-bye.
appropriate now. That's fine.
I'm allowed to do that now.
Canon.
You've been listening to Cosmic Crit, an officially licensed partner of Paizo Incorporated. The Starfinder role-playing game and adventure paths are trademarks of Paizo. All Pathfinder and Starfinder images are property of Paizo and are used with permission.